Hey guys, David Nuño, TexAgs Rewind here on a Wednesday. I got a question for the group. When's the last time you guys went to a really good pool party?
Never. It's been a while.
I don't get invited to parties.
I don't get invited. In fact, I started thinking about myself, like, have I ever been, like, other than, like, a kid pool party? Never. But A&M had a great one over the weekend. We had Bronny in studio to talk a little bit about that. We also had a really good go hour with Olin Buchanan talking about the quarterback race. Neck and neck is what we talked about with Haynes and Calzada as well. And that's part of our 21 and 21 presented by Factory Builder Stores. We focused on number 18 being the quarterback spot. We really didn't know who it's going to be. The odds-on favorite is Haynes King, but either one is going to be number 18 on that. And we also discussed who's the best Heisman candidate on the A&M roster. And one of my favorite guests of all time, Gary Blair in studio, the A&M women's basketball coach, all that and more on TexAgs. Actually, probably not more. Probably just everything that I had, right? Whatever. It's TexAgs Rewind. How you got into women's basketball? I read that you had started with a passion for baseball.
Well, I was a broken-down center fielder that couldn't hit the curveball, bunted my way to college as a walk-on. Then I ran out of ability, simple. Just like I ran out of ability in architecture, simple. I found something that I could do well, and that was manage people, develop talent, hire good people around you. And that's what I did at South Oak Cliff High School. I got there after the Marine Corps and after Texas Tech in '72, and all of a sudden the girls came over next door due to Title IX just starting. I was a product of Title IX. And the girls came over and asked me if I would coach them because our cheerleaders were just like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, best athletes in school were those cheerleaders at SOC, and the drill team was just as good. So they needed a coach. The girls, not the administration, came over and asked me if I would coach. And I took it in '73, '74, and we started winning right away in every sport, head coach of all four of them. And when I won my first state championship in '77, they said, here's the head baseball job. You can be junior varsity, offensive coordinator in football. We'll move you right up the ranks. I said, no, thanks. I love what I'm doing. I'm fixing to start year 50 this year of coaching. And I've been proud of the team, the places that I've been to coach, and we're going to give it another run.
And I typically don't like the idea of grouping two guys into one position because, or one ranking.
Right.
Because, have the, if you're going to do a rank, have the stones to say, okay, this guy's better than that guy. But we have absolutely no idea. And we watched them in the spring game. They both moved the ball. They both had one turnover or one interception. They both had one fumble. One guy has a huge arm. But can run. One guy's a great runner, but has a good arm. Yeah. So they have their strengths and weaknesses, but we've not seen either one of them play. Jimbo Fisher is, I don't want to say raving, but he has spoken confidently about both.
Yes, he has.
And he feels good about both. So, we're talking about two guys that look, even though they're different in their strengths, look pretty even in all reports. In his career, Zach Calzada has completed 50% of his passes. In his career, Haynes King has completed 50% of his passes.
Even Steven.
Now, Zach has thrown more, but he hasn't run like Haynes has run. So, again, which way are you going to go? But you look at him right now, and I can understand why Jimbo Fisher says, this is a dead heat.
Every day we do this show, and we do this topic, 21 and 21, I always mention if we redo it at the end of the year, which we may do. I think we're actually tinkering with the idea of having you guys vote and being part of the process for the end of the year for 21 and 21. But at the end of the year, if Haynes King or Zach Calzada live up to what we think they can be, and this is a powerful team going to the college football playoffs, that number 18 ranking will shoot up to a top 5.
Oh, if they're going into the playoff, they're definitely in the top 5 because, like Shireen said, you need a quarterback now, an effective quarterback. It doesn't have to be an All-American, but you need a very effective quarterback. And if you're in the top 5, then you're going to be led by an effective quarterback. And I think both of these guys could be effective quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them both play early on. And even if he names a starter, we're going to see, because you've got to get them both ready for when the SEC play comes. You have to. So I think we'll see them both. One of the things I will say, and I don't have Calzada's high school stats in front of me, but I do know about Haynes King. The guy is a winner. 37-2 in high school. That is a winner. As I mentioned, the topic of the show today was who's the best candidate for A&M to get a Heisman finalist there. And this was spurred off a column that I read from College Football News that says top Heisman candidates other than the obvious ones. And number 2, as I mentioned, had the Texas starting quarterback and the A&M starting quarterback. I don't know why they lumped us together, but whatever. And here's what it says. Here's the problem for the Heisman. The A&M offense will never, ever put up giant numbers needed to get voters fired up. But here's the positive. A&M's going to be really, really good with the upside to make a push for the college football playoff and with the mega game against Alabama in College Station on October the 9th. Again, kind of in line with what ESPN said earlier and exactly the kind of narratives that we want to see portrayed out there. Now we just got to go do it. We go to the A&B text line, a couple lines out there. And here's Dave and Edmond. I told you weeks ago that King is getting the Heisman invite. I was the first to call it. Don't forget it, because when it happens, I want all the glory. I do remember that, believe it or not. And I hope it happens. Put it this way. If A&M is undefeated entering that LSU game and even afterwards, or even a one-loss team, there's a great chance that Haynes, or Zach, whoever the quarterback is, gets invited to there. And here's PG Ag in King Oaks, Devon A-Chain. He's a highlight reel. I don't know if this is the year for Devon, but I do think he's absolutely one of those guys that will, next year at this time, if you can go 365 days later, if I asked this exact same question a year from now, I do believe we're talking about A-Chain being the guy. I do. I absolutely do believe that. You were awesome this weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah, on social media and all over the boards as well, the premium board. I really enjoyed it. So let's kind of take it, because I felt like it was a Saturday night that like every 10 minutes you had another update. It was just nonstop.
It felt like it was that way throughout the weekend. But yeah, Saturday was when it was started to get really busy. The kids started showing up on Friday. There was a good amount of A&M either commits or top targets already in town on Friday. Stayed Friday night and Saturday night. So really there was a 24-hour period where I was getting updates. Like I know one time I woke up in the middle of the night and checked my phone and had some stuff and posted it. I think it was like at 3 a.m. But it was, that is the life of being a recruiting analyst. I tell people all the time, there's no set hours to this job, but you are always on call. And there will be some weeks where you work 5 hours, and there'll be some weeks you work, 500 hours.
Right.
It feels like. So it was fun. It was hectic. We do have a couple more interviews still coming out on the other side of the weekend. I believe Jason is back in town on vacation. And look, if I'd have been on vacation during this weekend, Jason would have provided the same kind of coverage. So whether Jason was here or not, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have affected our coverage. If I was out, I know Jason would have done the same thing that I did. But we still have some more interviews coming out about the weekend, and there is going to be fallout from this thing, man. And I mean positive. Fallout, I think, has a negative connotation too. But there's going to be some ripple effects.
Good ripple effects.
Right. So from what happened, they picked up a commitment from Colton Thomason, and I think when you look at the weekend, you need to start there. Even though it's a 2023 offensive lineman and there were some huge 2022 names on campus, the fact that you were able to get the ball rolling on the offensive line in 2023 with a kid that many believes the second best prospect in the state in that class, a kid that lost 91 pounds.
91 pounds.
91 pounds. So when he came to camp as an eighth grader, David, he was the biggest eighth grader we'd ever seen. He was like 6'6", 6'7", and 370 pounds as an eighth grader. It was incredible for that kid to be 14 years old in that size.
There was a time where people were involved, like a studio audience. People enjoyed doing the TexAgs Rewind. Now I get Dalton walking over there. Meredith just agrees with me just to agree with me.
Yeah, woo!
Thank you. When I say subscribe, what are you supposed to do?
Hit the like button and subscribe.
And are you supposed to clap in public?
Yes.
And are you supposed to... I just wanted it to be awkward, but they kept on clapping. I kind of wanted them to stop. It is TexAgs Rewind. Thanks for watching, and make sure you become a member and subscriber and all the good stuff at TexAgs.com. Say bye, guys.
Bye.